die, dude! All right, boys. Time for Surtur. Look, he can't do anything. He can't do anything. Can't do anything. Can't do anything. You can't do anything. What an idiot. What an idiot that can't do anything. Wow. Difficult boss battle. Wow. That is one hard fight. And as always, I get shit loot. It's okay. Yo, gamers! Back at it again. We just finished normal on our Spiritualist. That's Nadan, Mastery, and Spirit. I'll show you my gear real quick. My staff. We got really lucky early in the game. This is an Act 3 staff. It's Grim of Speed. We are using Ternion attack. I'll show you that in a minute. So we're attacking with our staff, auto attack. So attack speed is very, very important. Speed is average roll 25% attack speed. And then prefix Grim is vitality damage. Huge. We put the Valor of Achilles on there for more attack speed. Force completion bonus is 8% attack speed. We're not really doing a lot of physical damage at all. You can build Spirit into a physical damage dealer. We're going to focus on vitality damage. The staff base is lightning damage. That's fine too. We'll change that up in the next difficulties and as we farm a little bit. Moving on to our chest piece. Honor Guards of Rejuvenation. I don't really care about Rejuvenation, but Honor Guards is important. I don't have a lot of sources currently of stun res, and Honor Guards always has stun res on it. Honor Guards is 18 armor, 18 pierce res, and some stun res. And then Rejuve is health regen and energy regen. That's fine too. We put on here Will of Ajax. If you guys don't like 20% pierce res, you can put a Rigid Carapace on there. Again, like I was saying, we did not have very much stun res. This is the entirety of our stun res. We are at 71 stun res from these two pieces alone. Honor Guards plus Will of Ajax, that always has stun res. We got really lucky. Will of Ajax rolls always percent health. The completion bonus, you can force it to be Vit res. We don't need the Vit res. And in our case, we got lucky with the flat health. That's really nice. As always, we use Stonebinder's Cuffs. This rolled health and energy. Always has Ellie res plus the skills. I just completed a Primal Magma. Primal Magma Force completion bonus is attack speed. Again, that's really big for our build. We're sitting at 157% attack speed with a staff. That's insane. This has percent burn and fire damage, and then flat fire damage on it. Any elemental damage is good because we do have quite a bit of elemental boosts in Spirit and Nadan, so that's fine too. Obviously, we're just using it though for the attack speed. As always, we use a Hallowed Hat. This one rolled of Spirit, which is energy. Hallowed Hat is vitality, resistance, and plus the skills. For health and energy, we put Amun-Ra's Glory on there. That's a pretty standard relic. You can force it for more Vit res if you don't need the health. In our case, we actually need the health. Our rings are pretty interesting. Cursed Loop for a lot of builds is pretty good for the energy damage. In our case, we are going to scale vitality damage, so that's really nice. And then also we put on Vile Ichor. You can get some really nice completion bonuses for the Vile Ichor, but Vile Ichor is also more percentage vitality damage and flat vitality damage. So that's quite nice. Our second ring is just a Tinkerer ring with no prefix. And then our two relics on here, we put Monkey King's Trickery. Force completion bonus is Pierce Res. You use that for the reduction of resistance. We're auto-attacking a ton, so that's getting applied frequently. And then another Vile Ichor. You can see here we got a different completion bonus. More vitality damage percentage, flat vitality, and then the completion bonus is poison damage over 3 seconds. That's a pretty decent completion bonus. Let's see, what else do we have here? Our Amulet, Spellbound Hormos. Spellbound is really important for this build. Minus energy cost goes a very, very long way. Early in the game, we used Golden Fleece on the chest piece because Ternion attack is pretty expensive. And so Spellbound Hormos Amulet is very, very nice. It has 10% energy. It always scales elemental damage percentage and then always has energy cost reduction. We got really lucky just a little bit ago. We got Boots of Pegasus. Pegasus always has elemental resistance, percentage elemental damage, and movement speed. And then our relic on here, almost always I put Hermes Sandal. This is movement speed and poison resistance. And then last but not least for our gear, we have Death Rattle. Like I said, you can go really crazy with physical damage on a Spirit Ternion attack build. I don't really care about the physical damage here. I even don't even care about the poison damage on this artifact. The health and energy early on is really nice. We built this in Act 2, I believe. But the really nice thing about Death Rattle is it always has 15% attack speed. And then, if you look, I got super lucky with another 8% attack speed completion bonus. Zeus was with us. Okay, so that's basically our gear. With Spirit Mastery, just remember you guys are squishy unless you play like very properly, meaning always in melee to, you know, reduce damages and stuff. So we spent a lot of points in health. We spent probably 40 points in health, which is substantial. So we also spent some points in strength early on to equip a random item. That means on this build, we are going to get a respec potion, because 40 points into health is quite a lot. You can recover a lot of that and dunk it into Int or Dex. You just got to play careful. So I dunked a lot of points into health early on. I'm not upset about it. Let's show you guys the build. Here's the masteries real quick. Because we play with plus the skills, remember, there are some things I have one pointed that we will end up scaling. But our main skill here is Ternion attack. This launches 3 projectiles. When you get to +4 to skills, you can mitigate completely its minus damage. So you're shooting 3 projectiles and you can shotgun 1 mob. Bosses die very, very quickly, or you can do nice cleave. The add-on also is important as well. It increases projectile speed, and oddly enough, what's even more tantalizing is it makes projectiles larger. The projectiles are larger, so it's easier to hit. That's our main skill here. We did climb the bar, and we do have 1 point in Death Ward. Death Ward will save you, but not maybe as much as you think. It's still very important. Okay, moving on. Death Chill Aura. We are starting to scale out the base. In a radius, you reduce speed, you reduce their health, and we only had 1 point for a while, so we're making this radius larger. And then the first add-on is Ravages of Time. This one also, for a while, we only had 1 point. This is reduction to damage while they're affected by your aura. So making the aura larger and also reducing their damage when they're in the aura. These two are very important, but for a while we only had 1 point. We are scaling these now. The damage bonus comes from Necrosis when you're affecting monsters with the aura and Necrosis is maxed out. You get minus bleed res, you get minus vit res, and you get minus life leech applied to those monsters. So this whole tree will be maxed. And we're very close now. I will pick up Summon Outsider. We haven't got it yet. We only have 1 point in Life Drain, and we only have 1 point in Cascade. This is a nice kind of quick application of vitality damage and a little bit of health return to your player. This is pretty nice. We do have Dark Covenant at 1 point. We do also have Unearthly Power at 1 point. We're going to max both of these. You want to live inside of Dark Covenant and for Unearthly Power. Dark Covenant will always give you 10% total speed. That means your attack speed goes up by 10%. Movement speed goes up by 10%, right? So then you pop this. If you have Unearthly Power, you get some physical damage, you get some bleed damage, you get some elemental damage, and you get some bit damage scale. These things are really important, but like I said, we play with pluses skills, so you only need 1 point, especially in normal. And the way we were playing, we were spending all our points in our staff attack, so that's where a lot of our skill points went. Moving on, you can level with Lich, and that's exactly what I did. I leveled with Lich and then transitioned all those points into Ternion attack when we had enough. I'm skipping it for now. Maybe in Legendary you can pick it up. We're not going to play that way, I don't think. And then also Spirit Ward and Spirit Bane. This is just less damage from undead, more damage to undead. Pick it, max it eventually. 1 point on normal difficulty is totally fine. Same thing here with Circle of Power. Circle of Power is really interesting in this build, and I'll show you exactly why the recharge is almost equally important as the damage scalars. But you can see, you put this totem down, and it lasts for 12 seconds, and it has a radius. You stand in that radius, you get 100% bleed damage, 100% bit damage, 100% life leech. You get casting speed, minus recharge, and minus energy cost. The minus energy cost obviously is really good for spamming Ternion attack, and then also the minus recharge is important because I'm not stacking recharge, so a little bit of recharge goes a long way. As long as Dark Covenant has a cooldown, it'll reduce its cooldown while you're standing in the totem. Same thing with Nadane's Mastery. Weakest Chakra is a big thing in this build. that has a long cooldown, so standing in something that reduces cooldowns is cool. So that's the synergy there. We're going to max that out because what scales is the recharge and the energy cost. Huge. Okay, so that's Spirit Mastery for now. Going over to Nadan, it's kind of bare. And the reason it's bare is because early on, I haven't played this way before, but we focused on consequences, and I put all our points as quick as possible into consequences. This has a 7-second duration, has a 24% chance to be used, and then consequences is always minus 25 resist. So basically, when you deal damage or put a spell out, monsters can be affected by this minus resistance. And then the add-on, when they are killed and affected by consequences, that consequences then get spread to monsters that are alive. So this is really, really good for resistance reduction. And then we climb the bar and barely spent any points. I will show you here. Inner Equilibrium is really, really good. It's global movement speed, global attack speed, global casting speed. When you drink a potion, either a health or an energy potion, you lose those bonuses for a period of time. So this is basically, while you're healthy or while you have full energy, you basically have movement, casting, and attack speed. Remember, attack speed for this build is really important. We only have 1 point. I'll put more points into it because it is important to get attack speed, but I did also want to focus on getting weakest chakra, which is just grinding the bar. Another thing here is convergence. When you drink any potion, you have a chance to proc the Eternal Embers potions. It's really powerful. I skipped Shen Pao, I skipped Echoes of Ancestor, not because they're bad, but because we wanted to get weakest chakra. Yeah, please play with Shen Pao. Shen Pao's amazing. It's awesome. I'm not going to go pet build. We're not going to go flame build. We're not going to go smoke cloud. I'll probably pick up smoke cloud soon. This is a really good spell to just use some CC, but we've just kind of focused on weakest chakra, climbing the bar, that sort of thing. I was going to skip Aura of Tranquility. Let me just show you this real quick. Aura of Tranquility costs at 4 out of 12. Costs 7 energy per second. It's a buff, but it also provides 15% damage absorption. Oh, this is all damage absorption. It has a chance for fire retaliation. Nobody cares about that fire retaliation. It's got Fizz Res and it's got Ellie Res. That's like really powerful. And because it's expensive, what it does is it constantly drains your energy unless you're regenning enough. And so then it gets you into this convergence like loop where you're like, okay, I need to drink an energy pot, which means now I lose movement, casting, and attack speed, but then I have a chance to proc these potions. That's the whole gameplay loop of Nadan always. You're going to be drinking a potion, but potions give you, effects. That's the loop. Okay, so we don't have its add-on. This is more energy cost, but you get some avoid and dodge, and then percent damage reflected. This one's great. We'll probably 1 point it later. It does then become very expensive though. And then last but not least, Blessing of Jin Chan. When you kill monsters, you have a chance to get extra loot or extra gold. I almost never pass this up. Gold is always good in my opinion. Okay, so those are our skills other than weakest chakra. Let me show you weakest chakra. It's cost a chunk of energy and it lasts for 20 seconds. And in a 16.5 meter radius, you provide 173 vitality damage on every auto attack. So if you have pets, if you have traps, if you have multiplayer, or if you're just auto attacking yourself, your auto attacks will do an additional 173 damage in vitality. Also in that 16.5 meter radius, you reduce damages by 33%. And you reduce resistances by 33%. That's huge. And then lastly, you get a third of a second of Petrify. So it's just like incredible. Again, back to Spirit Mastery, standing in the totem and proccing Dark Covenant. This scales elemental bleed, physical damage, vitality damage. This percentage vitality applies to this vitality. Let me just show you numbers real quick. 173 vitality damage in our staff. We're not even doing 100 damage on our staff. So when we pop that button, we're quadrupling our damage. And because Ternion attack shoots 3 projectiles, all 3 of those projectiles gets the application of vitality damage. So that's why we wanted to prioritize weakest chakra on this build. And then when you reduce resistances, and then when you use ravages and necrosis, it's just like, it's nuke. So that's the build. That's the video. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.